Good evening, everyone. This is Joe Henches with Beyond the Chart, and this is the stock market analysis today. Today is Wednesday, May 7th, 2014. This is our traditional BRIC country, Chinese focus type thing. So we're going to focus on primarily China, Russia. We're going to look at the Russia Stock Exchange. We're starting off with the with our exchanges, and then we'll move into Russia, China, Brazil, India. And then I'm going to look at something. I'm going to look at the Baltic Dry Index because I'm really curious. I haven't looked at that in a while. So let's go ahead and dive into this. Well, the Dow was up 117 points today. So we got, we're a little bit of a bouncing ball going on. We had the huge sell-off to start off Monday. Then we rallied back Monday afternoon. Then we had nothing but a big sell-off yesterday. And now we got a little bit of that in the morning. And then we came back. Well, actually, we opened up and then sold off and then rallied back. So here we are yesterday closing basically on the lows, and now we are closing almost on the highs. So 4 points off the highs on the Dow Industrial. So I think part of this is what's going on is the market is trying to digest what's happening. Of course, you got Yellen talking during the day, and they're trying to understand what she's saying. And the highlights I saw was talking about geopolitical risk, housing, the housing market, those types of things. So I think the big thing is the Ukraine, and of course, we had the news there that supposedly Putin has said the Russian soldiers have pulled back from the border. Now, I've also read where the Pentagon has made a contrary statement to that. So we'll get into that in here in a minute. All right, so now we've got the Dow back above the 10. So we're bouncing around here like a yo-yo. We've still got this trend line in here that I'm going to pull this out just a little bit here. So really we broke it, and now we pulled back to it. So the real question is going to be, which way is the true way? What's the true direction? Are we going to continue to move sideways? Let's look at the S&P 500. Basically the same thing, same picture. We look at the NASDAQ. The NASDAQ broke this trend line, came down. It's actually closed right on it. And so now we're pulling away from the bottom of the channel again, trying to break. But again, nothing dramatically. We got the rally back on this thing. So it's kind of hard to determine any kind of future direction off the NASDAQ. Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and jump into, where is I probably had it right there, the MySex. Look at Russia. Okay. So much for a head and shoulders consolidation pattern. Okay. You start to get a little bit of a move. You pull back to the neckline. You think you're going to roll back down, and then boom, you pull back up. So I would say that this has failed. Okay, well, number one, you've gone above the shoulder, so it's definitely failed. Number two, I would have said maybe on this break, on this move, getting above this bar probably was a failure. So I would say this head and shoulders is probably a failure, is my guess. Now, you sit back and say, well, okay, now what could possibly still be going on? We're just going to have to watch and see. We've got the 55 at a 45-degree hard down. You could have just got a snapback here. Who knows what's going on with the news? But when I look at this, the other thing to look at is you still got this kind of move in here. All right. So there's a trend, another trend line. So I hate to get too super, bearish on this because you don't really know for sure. But all you know is there's market developments or things that are happening over there that are going to change on a day-to-day basis. So right now I'd have to say, this looks like a failure. If I take this off, let's clear up our picture a little bit and just try to see, what else might be happening. This is a pretty big move, okay? As I think about the bar that I'm looking at, this is a wide-ranging bar, okay? It's what I call a WR bar. And when you get a WR bar many, many times, that's going to be it, or you're not going to get a whole lot for that. Look at this huge WR bar down here, this big, big, big move. Well, here's where it stopped. How many days below this close did it actually close for the next few weeks? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I mean, let me draw a line. Okay, so since March 3rd, there were 5 days that the MISEX index closed below that low after that huge bar. That's why I'm always careful about these big bars. When all of a sudden you get a huge move and a huge bar out of nowhere, you just don't know for sure what's going on with it. Anyway, all right, so that's the MISEX. Let's go ahead and take a look at China. Where's the Shanghai Composite? Here we are. All right. Now, China had a celebration, some kind of May Day. Well, I can't remember what it was. I know I read about it. 1st of May, Golden Day celebration of some kind, I think it was. And so really last Wednesday was the 30th. And we've only had 3 days of trading since then. So they were off that Friday, Thursday, Friday, and Monday. So in the short term that we've had, it's pulled down some, okay? And we've got this trend line that I've drawn in here as a possible, break or support or whatever. So as some kind of guideline and indication that I'm looking to see, what kind of clue this is going to give us. So right now we just got to watch to see if it breaks that trend line. All right, that's the Shanghai Composite. Let's take a look at Brazil. Now, remember how I was talking about this looked like a pennant? This is a this looked like a pennant to me, and now we got this break out of it, and it's heading up to those old highs. So the real key is going to be do you get a bunch of resistance coming in at these old highs on Brazil? And let me back off a little bit on Brazil. See what the boy, it's been chopping sideways. I mean, it's really been chopping sideways up and down. I mean, it would have to break above 10,000 to be making a significant move that says something dramatically is changing, I think. Okay, so that's Brazil. Let's take a look at India. And the India, here we go. It's right on it. Love it when it does that. The Nifty 50. Okay, it's pulling back. It's like I thought it might. I thought it was going to do that earlier, but now it's doing it. We'll see if we get pulled back into the support area. And of course, we got the rising 55-day moving average up in here too. So it's getting a little bit of the pullback here. Other than that, it's been, like I've said before, one of the best of the four. It's been the best stock exchange of the four main countries. Okay, now I want to take a look at the Baltic Dry Index, just because we're talking about international countries, talking about what's going on. This is really interesting. Look at this picture from the 90s, from the late 90s all the way up. So here we have, even in the year 2000 when the stock market peaks, the Baltic Dry Index just keeps pushing. The economies, global economies are expanding. Everything's expanding. China, huge growth in China, 2005, 6, 7, whatever. And then all of a sudden here in May, June 2008, it peaks. Now, part of this is what is the Baltic Dry Index? It's issued by the London Daily Exchange. Okay, it's not restricted to Baltic countries, so it's global. It's the price of moving major raw materials by sea, and it covers 23 shipping routes around the world, and it's for a range of commodities, including coal, iron ore, and grain. Okay, so you're moving these kind of things around, and the cost to move that, fuel, oil, does impact that. So what was the price of oil right here? $150 a barrel. Okay, so that was impacting this to a certain degree, but it also, so there's two components, economic demand and the price of fuel. Now, look at this. I mean, we've still got price of fuel at $100 a barrel or plus, and then we've got this dramatic we just can't seem to get this thing going out of bed here. Okay, so it's pulled back. It's even dropping off here since the first of the year. So I thought that was very interesting to look at. All right, now I want to jump into 5 of the 5 most active Chinese stocks today. 5 most active Chinese stocks. We're going to start off with the Melco Crown, and the volume on it today was 6.9 million shares, and it's clearly in a downtrend. I don't see, I mean, we've got this channel formed in here, pretty clear. It's approaching support where it's bounced a couple of times. We'll see whether or not we get support. I don't have any other better reading on this in terms of Melco. Next one we'll look at is Chiho 360. Chiho looks like it's now this, again, another one that's in a pretty strong downtrend. It looks like it's broken this support in here, okay, with this move today. And these dotted lines are the retracement, okay? So going from here to here, an entire 5-wave impulse move. Now we're looking to see, this is a 50% retrace, this is a 61.8% retrace, okay? And typically when you retrace a major impulse move like this, especially if this is wave 1, let's say, it's typically going to be at least 50 to 61.8%. So we're just going to have to watch to see where does it get support. And here's the bottom of wave 4, okay? So again, no signal there other than that it is, you know, all eyes down. All right, Baidu. Baidu had a little bit of a reversal day here yesterday. Would have been the perfect time to go close. I didn't catch this in time, but you know, right before the close to be able to clutch this reversal day where it went higher than the last 2 days and closed below the close of the last 2 days, actually closed below the low of the last 3 days. And then what do we get this morning is this huge, you know, nice move to the downside. So we've got a little support line in here. It's a potential little shoulder, head, shoulder consolidation type move. So the question is, do we get a breakdown through this? You'd be, here's potential support. So that's what I'd be looking for on Baidu. The next one we'll look at is CTRP. CTRP again is in a channel, downward channel. Now again, we got another one of these WR bars, okay, similar to what we got here. You get this bar, and then what do? You get 3 or 4 days of a little bit of snapback. So we'll have to watch that. Again, no specific signal other than in a strong downtrend. I have been looking for this thing to make a move to the upside, but now we're in this corrective action in here, and you just don't know when the corrective action is going to end. This looks like a flat to me. If this was 5 waves up in a first of a third wave, okay, and then this looks like an A, B, C, because we got this pullback right to the beginning of this first A move here. That's what it looks like to me. We're just going to have to see how this channel plays out. Again, no specific indication. And the last one we're going to look at is YY. YY, again, another one of those that's in a strong downtrend like a lot of these internet stocks are. It looks like it broke support in here with today's move. Now, it hit the 233-day moving average and looks like it bounced off of that a little bit, but this definitely looked like it broke support. I don't think we're getting, we're not on the RSI, we're not getting divergence, and it's not even oversold on the RSI yet. So anyway, that's it on YY. We'll just have to keep an eye on it. You know, downtrending is, you know, strong as many of these are. Okay, that's it for tonight. We'll be back tomorrow night with a quick update on Thursday. And have a great Thursday, everyone. Thanks for stopping by. Tweet it, share it, and subscribe if you haven't subscribed. This has been Joe for Beyond the Chart. Thanks for stopping by.